I was curious after the episode last week where we talked about Barack Obama and asked whether he was gay, based on the article that had been published in Tablet magazine, where writer David Samuels had interviewed historian David Garrow. David Garrow was the one who wrote the definitive biography of Barack Obama. And in this definitive biography of Barack Obama, David Garrow claimed that Barack Obama had written a love letter to one of his ex-girlfriends in which he talked about either being homosexual or fantasizing about having gay sex with men. And we did a whole episode on it, and I think it was a good episode. But one of the questions that I had, or something I was curious about after the episode, is in this letter that was written, we didn't actually have the letter. Even in David Garrow's biography, the letter wasn't included. In fact, the only part that was included of the letter was everything but the juicy part. The juicy part was redacted. So I was left wondering, and I know I'm a skeptic by nature here, but I was left wondering, well, is it what it's being portrayed to be? Is what Barack Obama said about fantasizing about having gay sex with men? Did he actually say that? How was it phrased? What's the context here? Is this being exaggerated? And I wondered how soon it would take for the actual content of that redacted paragraph to surface. It turns out that it didn't take very long. It surfaced over the weekend. So I want to read you this. This is from a report from the New York Post. This was an exclusive to them. The title is Barack Obama told X, quote, "I make love to men daily, but in the imagination," letter shows. So this is what the New York Post says. Former President Barack Obama wrote of his own androgynous mind and making love to men daily, but in the imagination, according to the redacted portion of a now notorious 1982 letter obtained by the Post. The more than 40-year-old letter to an ex-girlfriend recently resurfaced after Obama biographer David Garrow gave a long and winding interview on the one-time commander-in-chief. This is what Obama wrote. "In regard to homosexuality, I must say that I believe this is an attempt to remove oneself from the present, a refusal perhaps to perpetuate the endless farce of earthly life. You see, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination." Obama was 21 years old when he wrote this. He wrote it to an ex-girlfriend named Alex McNear in November of 1982. So it's a little obscure what he's referring to. But then he says, this is a quote from the redacted portion of the letter, "My mind is androgynous to a great extent, and I hope to make it more so until I can think in terms of people, not women as opposed to men. But in returning to the body, I see that I have been made a man, and physically in life, I choose to accept that contingency," he added. Now, this girlfriend, McNear, the Post says, who dated Obama during his year at Occidental College in Los Angeles, later redacted the salacious paragraphs, which the Pulitzer Prize-winning historian Garrow hunted down and included in his tome Rising Star. The letter is currently owned by Emory University, which doesn't permit it to be photographed or removed. Instead, Garrow's friend Harvey Clare transcribed the paragraphs by hand and sent them to the author. Clare provided the redacted portion of the letter to the Post. So I'm not sure that that's a definitive answer on what he meant. The androgynous mind comment that he made reminded me of the discussion that we were having last week with Dr. Miriam Grossman when she was talking about the origin of gender identity, and she was talking about John Money, this crazy, evil doctor who pioneered transgender surgeries for children, and how he actually coined not just gender identity, but coined the idea of gender as being something separate from biological sex. And his idea was that your body is what represents sex, but your mind is androgynous. And when Obama commented about his mind being androgynous, it reminded me of John Money's idea that you should be psychologically androgynous. It's really weird, whether it means that he's gay or whether it means that he bought into Marxist ideology that wants people to reject gender roles, or whether he bought into twisted sex stuff. It's a little hard to tell, but it does tell us exactly what was in that article, or in that letter, in the redacted paragraph, and we can see for ourselves that it wasn't exaggerated in the original reports. This song went viral over the weekend. It's called Rich Men North of Richmond. You probably have heard it already. But what's interesting about this is the second conservative, I kind of say that in quote unquote, second conservative piece of entertainment media that has been wildly successful in the last month. The first was Sound of Freedom. The second is this one. And it's interesting because oftentimes conservatives criticize each other for not competing in Hollywood by saying, well, if you just made something that was conservative, if you made something that was Christian and actually tried to compete it in the entertainment industry, maybe the left wouldn't have a monopoly on entertainment. And I think that this song and Sound of Freedom belay that argument completely. And I want to share with you why I think this, but of course, let's watch this first.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bull pay.
Man, he has pipes. I love his voice. It's like a cross between country, but like old-fashioned country, not pop country, and this like soulful vibe that just gets you. You can see why that song went viral. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.